Well, let's get to it. This will never be easy, but this is Republican news. The cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, announced in July 2025 and set to take effect in May 2026, was framed by CBS as a matter of money. A business decision. Nothing personal. But anyone paying attention knows it wasn't just about numbers. It was about silencing a voice that dared to speak out. This wasn't a quiet ratings dip. Colbert consistently led late night, averaging over 2 million viewers a night. His cancellation came only days after he publicly condemned Paramount, CBS's parent company, for settling a lawsuit with Donald Trump. Colbert called it a bribe. 3 days later, he was out. That timing doesn't feel like coincidence. It feels like consequence. Let's talk about the hypocrisy. Because that's what this is really about. For years, we've heard certain political voices, largely on the right, cry foul about cancel culture. They shout that comedians, commentators, and free thinkers are being silenced by an overly sensitive left. They demand the right to speak freely, offend freely, even lie freely, all in the name of free speech. But where were those voices when Stephen Colbert was cancelled? Where were the think pieces, the outraged tweets, the rallies for creative freedom? They didn't show up. They cheered. The same people who claimed cancel culture was a national emergency suddenly had nothing to say when one of their fiercest critics lost his platform. In fact, some of them celebrated. Donald Trump even posted that he was glad Colbert was off the air. That's not free speech. That's selective outrage. That's hypocrisy. Let's be clear. If a conservative host had been taken off the air right after criticizing Joe Biden, Fox News would have called it a First Amendment crisis. Politicians would have lined up on the courthouse steps. Congressional hearings would have followed. But when Colbert, a liberal voice, is canceled after criticizing a powerful Republican figure? Silence. Or worse, applause. Compare this to Bill Maher, another political comedian. Maher made peace with Trump publicly. He's still on the air. Colbert never bowed. He stayed sharp, stayed critical, and now he's gone. That contrast says a lot. This isn't about comedy. It's about power. The Writers Guild of America called it out for what it looked like, a network bending to political pressure. Fellow hosts like Jon Stewart, Jimmy Kimmel, and Seth Meyers didn't hold back either. They understood that this wasn't just the end of a show. It was the beginning of a new and dangerous precedent. Let's not pretend this is normal. CBS didn't just cancel a host. They retired the entire Late Show franchise. No replacement. No passing of the torch. Just silence. And they expect us to believe that's about ad revenue? This isn't about a changing media landscape. This is about clearing the stage. And it's not just Colbert being punished. It's the audience, the millions of people who tuned in each night not just to laugh, but to understand, to process, to feel less alone in a chaotic political climate. Colbert's final season has taken on the tone of a goodbye tour, not just for a show, but for an era. He's using his remaining time to reflect, to resist, and to remind us why voices like his matter. And as he steps off that stage, we're left with a choice. Do we accept a world where powerful people can silence their critics with lawsuits and corporate mergers? Do we let free speech become a slogan used only to protect one side? Or do we demand consistency, transparency, and courage from our media, our politicians, and ourselves? The cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert wasn't just hypocritical. It was cowardly. It exposed how fragile creative freedom really is when money and power collide. But it also proved something else. When you tell the truth boldly, people listen. Even if they cancel the show, they can't cancel the message. Because in an age where silence can be bought, voice becomes rebellion. Colbert's show may end. But his legacy, of wit, wisdom, and moral clarity, will keep speaking through every artist, every writer, every viewer who refuses to be silent. Truth still adapts. Storytellers still rise. And when they tear down the stage, we build another. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and have a blessed day.